Ladies, gentlemen, and friends from around the globe, welcome to the Kegel Show. My name is Don Agent, and with us this week and back for a third time is Chris Chartrand, our CEO of Kegel. Good to see you, sir.
Mr. Agent.
Always a pleasure having you back.
I'm getting used to this.
I like this. I like it when we get to sit down and chat. It's about the only time I get to spend time with you anymore in the office.
I think the last 3 months we've spent more time on Kegel Show than we have anywhere else. Yeah.
I think so. You just came back from a pretty cool trip to Korea. Are you jet lagging? How you feeling?
No, I mean one of my classmates got married over the weekend in Blue Ridge, so I flew into Atlanta and had a couple days to recover in the mountains for a wedding. So, but yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm better. For some reason, I don't know about you, it's always harder
coming back.
For me, it's always harder coming back than it is going that
You're going backward in time almost, is it? It's kind of how I always felt about it.
It's also, too, because, but Europe is the opposite, but it's also harder coming back. I think it's because when you land, you don't have time for jet lag, right? You go, it's
hit the ground running.
It's dinner, it's meetings, you got to go. So when you come back, there's time for a nap here or there to get yourself all messed up.
What was the reason you were out there?
Well, we a couple years ago we changed our distribution partner in Korea, and ever since then, the activity in the country has certainly been a lot greater. The sales have been really significant the last couple years. One of the things we decided to do this year, first time, was sponsor a new Korean Pro Bowlers Tour event, KPBA.
Excellent.
They've got over 20 tour stops, and we added a new stop. It was one of 6 majors now that they have on the tour. So it's called the Kegel Cup with a C.
Cool. I was going to ask you if it was with a K or not. Oh, big.
Our golf tournament's the Kegel Cup with a K.
Exactly.
No, so I went over there to meet the players and spend some time and watch some of the competition, and then I was there for the TV show at the end, so it was important to be there to present the big check and give out the trophy.
Nice. Now, are we going to do this on a yearly basis, you think? Is that kind of the plan going forward?
That's the plan. Yeah, we don't have any contracts or any real commitments, but I certainly shook a lot of hands and said, see you next year. So it wouldn't look good if we yeah, it's absolutely our plan to do it again. I was sitting there, normally, our normal marketing strategy is to be the lane maintenance provider.
Mm-hmm.
So we tend to not be the title sponsor of a lot of events, but we do a lot for bowling. We had 62 events on our tournament list this year. We send guys all around the world, machines, the oil, all of that stuff. So that's been our strategy. This was really a deviation from that for us to be the title name sponsor for the Kegel Cup. And so I was sitting there, and I counted. There were 24 Kegel logos everywhere on the TV set, Kegel branding everywhere. It felt pretty good, actually, to sort of be the title sponsor of an event. Who knows, it might lead to some other situations like that elsewhere.
Obviously, I've spent a lot of time in Korea over the years, and you have as well, traveling. And bowling has exploded not only from a competitive standpoint, but from a business standpoint as well. You're a bowler. Let's kind of start with the bowlers themselves. What do you think about the athletes in Korea?
Yeah, they're really, really good. The Korean national team consistently, produces a lot of medals. They're really excellent. Bowling for the longest time has been all about direction. If you can control accuracy and get the ball starting on the correct line, as the balls have gotten more powerful, knocking them all down is not as hard as it used to be.
Sure.
Overall, the rev rates on average are certainly a little bit lower. I think I know for sure I saw 1 two-hander. There's maybe 2 in the whole field, so the majority are still kind of throwing one hand. More of a classic style. The rev rates are lower, but man, you watch them over and over, and man, they really repeat shots.
They can repeat,
and they're excellent. I didn't see, the spare shooting is excellent. So yeah, it's certainly a little bit old school, it felt like, compared to sort of today's power game where people are going around the lane. A lot more people, playing outside, kind of more up the lane than really going around it. but very talented nonetheless.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I mean, they're some of the hardest training athletes I've seen, and definitely speaking from a national team standpoint, that was most of the involvement I would have over there when I was doing events. What are some of the similarities and differences between the Korean culture fan base and the type of fan base that we'd have in the U.S.? I mean, because I've seen some pretty interesting things on at shows there, and I mean, you know, I'm sure you probably witnessed some things. I mean, how different was it from sitting on a show here versus there?
It was actually quite a bit more exciting, to be honest with you. They had the percentage of the crowd that was younger was quite a bit different.
Okay.
So the whole crowd was filled with younger people, and they had chants. You know, I had to ask what they were saying. You know, but in between the match, they had you know, these really interesting cheers. You know, and I asked what it was. They were saying like, fight, 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 whatever the name of the bowler was, you know, so someone would lead the chant and then everyone else would kind of yell, fight, you know.
Nice.
It was kind of a back and forth banter, which was cool. It created definitely an interesting energy. And what I also thought was really interesting, in between matches, there was like a section of fans that would swap out. So like the player that lost the match, all their fans left, and then the fans for the next player kind of took their spot with their big signs and everything. Just to the left, there was like a family section, you know, or family and friends section. And
Too cool.
They all moved out, you know, in between matches. But it was good, you know. I mean, it felt, you know, other than kind of the chanting, and I don't understand what they were saying. It was, you know, similar.
Summer event. Yeah, I always felt like it, you know, in those venues, they did tend to be a little bit louder and a little bit more kind of aggressive from a fun standpoint. You were also there to spend some time. I mentioned earlier, obviously, we've got somewhat of a new distributor here the last couple of years, J&S Trading. How did that go?
And yeah,
Ginseng.
Yeah, I tell you, in terms of the difference of the market, this, for me, is the thing that's most exciting. You know, here we tend to have kind of two different types of centers. We've got kind of the older traditional league-focused centers, and a lot of the new centers being built are these, you know, FEC facilities. We're very focused on entertainment, and certainly some of our centers that are league-focused have modified and upgraded and added some entertainment elements. But in terms of new construction, the new construction happening here is really very entertainment focused. I was very pleased and impressed with the business model that they've kind of created in Korea. They're constructing new facilities that have a very balanced approach with both a foundation of competitive play. They really care about lane conditions and the lanes, and most of the proprietors there are bowlers themselves that are opening another location and a third location. But at the same time, they've got, you know, great branding, excellent dining options, and they've got, you know, arcades, some entertainment. So they've got a really great balanced approach that has regular repeat business from the people that love the sport, and they've got some great options for people that really view it as entertainment on weekends and nights and families. So I mean, what all this has led to is this really vibrant market. You know, there's a lot of new centers that are being constructed over there right now. So that makes for pretty good meetings with your distributors, right, when there's a lot of product.
Well, obviously, I'm not in that daily aspect of it anymore, but you know, I talked with you and Gus, and I've seen quite the boom over there, especially the last couple of years. I mean, what are some of the types of the Kegel products that are, you know, because it's not just lane machines. I mean, really, Korea's kind of embracing some different things.
I mean, we've always, you know, had a good support there for all of our conditioner line. Yeah, it's primarily, in terms of percentage of, you know, revenue, everything, it's certainly mostly lane machines. Now, because a lot of the lane machines are going into some new facilities, you know, these people obviously will become new customers of us of parts and chemicals and whatnot. But they've put in a bunch of Specto also. They were our largest customer of the Torch when that came out. They, you know, our parts are primarily for the Brunswick pin setters, and so there's there's many more AMF pin setters over in that market, so we haven't really done anything on the pin setter part front. But yeah, I mean, the coaching tools, given how focused they are on entertainment's also been something they've done well with also.
Excellent. Now, let's change gears a little bit. What is your personal favorite thing to eat when you go over there?
Well, they all laugh. They're surprised how much I like kimchi.
So am I, brother. Yeah,
I
was never a big fan of it. It was one of the few things I could not eat over there.
Spicy and salty. I like kimchi. Now, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite thing to eat. You know, JP and Min and the crew at Ginseng, they've got this really, really very nice Korean barbecue joint that we go to. The meat is that'd be my favorite thing to eat when I'm in Korea for sure. But that place, they don't bring kimchi with all of the vegetables and everything that come, and I always gotta, you know, they always bring some extra kimchi on the side for me.
What's the coolest thing you've personally seen when you've traveled to Korea? Because you've been there many times, and as well as I have.
Man, I tell you, one time I went to a cool park, but most of my trips to Korea have really been hotel and bowling center and restaurants only. I haven't had the time on any trips to really do any sightseeing. I have done more of that in Japan than I have in Korea. I don't have a good answer for you here, Donnie. I haven't really.
That's okay. I forgot that normally you're on the plane and going, where when we do tournaments over there, we were there 20, 25 days, so we'd get, you know, the Olympic Village was cool for me because I've been there to see that. And
I need to, you know, maybe next time I get over there, I need to add a couple days.
Give it a shot if you can. I want to give a shout out to our HR director, Mary, for the beautiful orange plant that she donated to our set, as well as JP, Min, and all the staff at Ginseng Training. That's a wrap for the show, guys. Chris, I thank you so much for coming out. As always, great to see you.
Always fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep those wrenches turning and have a wonderful day.